Some of the smartest retirement decisions being made in America right now aren't happening in financial advisors' offices. They're happening on quiet lots in Texas, Missouri, and Tennessee, where people are building single-story homes designed around a question most retirement planning skips entirely. What happens to this house when you're 80, not 60? The 8 Barndominiums on this list were built with that exact question in mind, and every single one belongs to someone who made a specific, deliberate choice most homebuyers never even think to make. Stay with me until the end, because the final home on this list has one feature that costs almost nothing to include during construction, but tens of thousands of dollars to add later. And it's the detail almost nobody thinks to request until it's already too late. I'm Mason, and you're watching Modern Luxury Homes USA. Today we're walking through 8 real, retirement-ready barndominium designs that people are building to grow old in. Not to flip, not to show off, but to live in for the next 30 years. You're going to see their exact layouts, the accessibility decisions built into each one, what separates a home that's genuinely aging in place ready from one that's just single story, the real trade-offs nobody puts in the brochure, and the one design choice on this list that could save someone a forced move in their 70s. And by the end, I want to know, which one of these would you retire into? These aren't concept renderings or showroom fantasies. These are decisions real homeowners made, often after watching a parent or in-law struggle in a home that wasn't built for the body they eventually had. If staying independent in your own home matters to you, instead of being priced or physically forced out of it, take 1 second, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. We break down smart, honest home designs every week, and you won't want to miss what's next. Before we get into the homes, here's why single-story, aging-in-place barndominiums have become one of the fastest-growing categories in retirement housing. In 2026, the average cost of assisted living in the U.S. has pushed well past $5,000 a month, and dedicated retirement communities frequently run higher than that once you factor in entrance fees and rising monthly rates. Stretch that over 15 or 20 years, and for most households, the math stops working. So a growing number of Americans are doing something different, building homes engineered to keep them independent for as long as possible, instead of homes they know they'll eventually have to leave. It's a quiet shift in how people are thinking about retirement housing altogether. Less about downsizing into a facility, more about building once and building right. A single-story barndominium fits that goal almost by accident. There are no stairs to navigate as balance shifts with age. The steel or post-frame structure needs far less upkeep than a traditional wood frame house, which matters when hiring out repairs becomes harder to manage physically and financially. And the same open floor plan that makes barndominiums popular with young families also happens to make them easier to move through with a walker, a cane, or a wheelchair, because there are fewer load-bearing walls forcing narrow hallways and tight doorway turns. It's the rare case where a design trend for one generation quietly solves a problem for another. So what separates a home that's simply single-story from one that's built to retire into? A short list of specific decisions: 0-step entries, hallways wider than code requires, curbless showers, and the strongest examples, a self-contained space for a future caregiver. None of these show up in a listing photo. All of them show up the day you actually need them. And that's really the theme running through every home on this list. The best decisions are the ones that are invisible until they're essential. Let's get into it. Starting at number 8. The flat threshold farmhouse Barndo, built on a quiet parcel outside Guthrie, Oklahoma. The owners, a couple in their late 50s, made one decision early that shaped everything downstream. No thresholds anywhere in the entire house. No step at the garage entry. No step at the front porch. No transition strip separating one room from the next. The exterior is a simple charcoal metal shell with a matching standing seam roof, kept deliberately rectangular to hold down framing costs. Inside, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and an open kitchen and living space finished in stained, polished concrete that runs uninterrupted from the front door to the back patio slider. Total cost, approximately $181,000. The floor is what earns this home its spot. Polished concrete doesn't just read as modern. It eliminates the transition strips and thick carpet edges that quietly become tripping hazards as balance changes with age. It's also low maintenance in a way carpet never is, since there's nothing to replace every 8 to 10 years. This is the entry point for anyone serious about building a forever home instead of a starter home they'll eventually outgrow physically. 42 inches. That's the hallway width at our number 7 pick, and it's the entire reason this home made the list. Home number 7 is the occupational therapy-approved Barndo in Central Missouri, a 1,760 square foot single-story build where every interior hallway runs between 42 and 48 inches, well past the 36-inch code minimum. What made this build sharper than most? Before the floor plan was finalized, the owners brought in an occupational therapist, not just an architect, to walk the layout and flag anything that would become a problem 20 years down the line. The result is a home with 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a primary suite tucked into its own private wing. Total cost, approximately $187,000. It's invisible right now and essential later. Walk through this home today, and you'd never notice the extra 6 to 12 inches of hallway clearance. Try steering a walker or a wheelchair through a standard hallway 15 years from now, and you'd notice immediately, and by then, widening a hallway means tearing into framing and electrical, not just picking a different blueprint. Not every retirement build is about aging alone. Sometimes it's about aging with support close by. Home number 6 is the split-wing Barndo, set on a wooded lot in rural Tennessee. This 1,910 square foot design places the primary suite on one end of the home and 2 guest bedrooms on the opposite end, joined by a shared central living area. Same roof line, same foundation, 2 completely separate wings. The kitchen is finished in white shaker cabinetry with a large central island, and the living room sits under a 12-foot vaulted ceiling with exposed wood beams. Total cost, approximately $194,000. The unexpected detail is a single pocket door between the guest wing and the shared hallway. Slide it shut, and the entire wing becomes private, usable by a visiting adult child or eventually a part-time caregiver, without disrupting the rest of the home. It's the kind of feature that costs almost nothing at the framing stage and changes the entire function of the house later. One trade-off worth naming. A split-wing layout like this only works on a lot wide enough to spread the footprint out. On a narrower or steeply sloped lot, this same plan gets considerably more expensive to build, since you're fighting the terrain instead of working with it. We covered some smart layouts so far, but the next few homes on this list solve for cost in ways that caught me off guard. Somewhere outside Statesboro, Georgia, a retired couple decided their real long-term expense wasn't the mortgage, it was the 5-year repaint cycle. Home number 5 is the no-repaint Barndo, a 1,520 square foot build wrapped front to back in standing seam metal siding, with 0 exposed wood trim anywhere on the exterior. The goal going in was explicit: eliminate exterior maintenance as both a recurring expense and a recurring physical task, since neither one of them wanted to be the person on a ladder at 70. Total cost, approximately $171,000. For anyone considering something similar, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kansas currently offer comparable material and labor pricing for this style of build. Here's what disappears from the budget: no repainting schedule, no ladder work, no pressure washing to hire out or attempt yourself. On a fixed income, that's not a lifestyle preference. That's a line item that stops existing entirely year after year. This one skimps everywhere it can, on purpose to spend everywhere it should. Home number 4 is the Curbless first Barndo, built by a couple in rural Kansas for approximately $174,000 on 1,640 square feet. They put an outsized share of that budget into both bathrooms. 0 threshold, curbless showers in each one. Wide enough for a wheelchair to roll in without assistance if that day ever comes. Everywhere else, the finishes are intentionally modest. Ready-to-assemble cabinets, luxury vinyl plank flooring, simple trim, much of it installed by the couple themselves on weekends to stretch the budget further. This build is a fit for anyone willing to save on interior finishes now, specifically to fund the two features that are the most expensive and disruptive to retrofit later. Building a curbless shower from day one costs a few $100s more than a standard one. Adding one after the fact means demolition, replumbing, and retiling an entire bathroom from scratch, often while the homeowner is the one who needs it most urgently. The trade-off is resale. A home this finish modest can take longer to sell to a buyer who isn't thinking about accessibility, since the interior reads more utilitarian than upscale. So this plan fits people who see this as their last move, not a stepping stone to something else. Next, we step outside, because a deep, covered porch does more for retirement living than I expected going into this list. A wraparound covered porch this size usually reads as a pure luxury add-on. Here, it's functional. Home number 3 is the full-shade porch Barndo, outside Fredericksburg, Texas, with a porch spanning the full width of the house, deep enough for daily use in complete shade, regardless of season. The logic is direct. Retirees who spend more time at home want more livable outdoor space, without the yard work that normally comes attached, and without navigating uneven grass or gravel to get outside at all. 2 rocking chairs, a ceiling fan, string lighting, and zero direct sun exposure past 10 a.m. Total cost, approximately $184,000, or roughly $109 per square foot. This is where the list starts shifting from pure medical necessity toward everyday quality of life. It's worth noting the porch does add real square footage to maintain structurally, mainly the roof line and support posts, so it's a small ongoing cost in exchange for a much bigger daily use payoff. $89,000 for the shell, $84,000 to convert it. That math is what makes our number 2 pick one of the strongest value plays on this entire list. Home number 2 is the converted shell Barndo, an old agricultural building transformed on a 5-acre property in rural Tennessee. New spray foam insulation sealed the existing steel structure. Interior framing created a wide, split-bedroom layout with an oversized primary bathroom that includes a curbless shower and a built-in seated bench. Total investment, approximately $173,000 for land, structure, and full conversion. One caution worth naming: this strategy only works if the existing shell is structurally sound. This family paid for a full inspection before closing on the land, and it came back clean. Skip that step, and a compromised frame can turn a smart retirement plan into an expensive problem fast, sometimes more expensive than building new from the ground up would have been. And here it is, home number 1, the Caregiver Ready Barndo. The build that proves this entire list isn't really about building small. It's about building ahead. Set on a quiet rural property outside Columbia, Missouri, this single-story, 2,110 square foot home includes something none of the other 7 have: a fully self-contained secondary suite, complete with its own entrance, its own bathroom, and a small kitchenette, positioned on the opposite end of the home from the primary suite. Not a guest room, a real, separate living space. Here's why it earns the top spot. Every cost-efficient decision in this build: rectangular footprint, simple gable roof, zero-step entry throughout, standing seam exterior, was made specifically to free up budget for the one feature that matters most for long-term security: a space that's ready the moment a caregiver or a family member needs to move in. Total cost, approximately $201,000. Compared to the cost of assisted living, which can run $60,000 a year or more, this single upfront investment could pay for itself in under 4 years if it's ever actually needed. And if it isn't, it's simply a guest suite, or a rental, or a place for adult kids to stay during a visit. That's what building ahead looks like: a home that works whether or not the worst-case scenario ever shows up. Here's where each of these lands, and which one wins depending on what you need. Best entry point: home number 8, the flat threshold farmhouse in Oklahoma. At $181,000, it's the most direct starting point for anyone who wants the single most important safety feature: zero-step living, without overthinking anything else. Best long-term value: home number 5, the No Repaint Barndo in Georgia. At $171,000, the ongoing savings on maintenance and upkeep compound every year you're living there. Best overall pick. Home number 1, the Caregiver Ready design in Missouri. At $201,000, it's the only home on this list solving a problem before you know you have it. And dollar for dollar, nothing else here buys that kind of long-term peace of mind. Every home on this list proves the same thing. With the right state, the right layout, and the right decisions made early, you can build a home that keeps you independent for decades, instead of one you'll eventually be forced to leave. None of these homes are flashy. None of them are trying to impress a guest. They're trying to still make sense in 15 years, and that's a much harder thing to design for than it sounds. If you had to pick one of these 8 homes to retire into, which one would it be? Drop your answer in the comments, and let me know if you're planning this for yourself or for a parent. I read every comment in the first 24 hours, and it shapes which homes and features we cover next. If this kind of forward-thinking home planning is useful to you, there's a lot more where this came from. We cover barndominiums, aging in place design, and affordable retirement housing across America every week. If this brought you value, a like takes 1 second and helps this reach people who need it. Subscribe so you never miss a breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one.